Hello everyone, welcome back to the Breaking Into IT channel. Today I wanted to do a default routing video for you guys. Earlier this week we did a static route lab that turned out to be great. This one's going to be great as well. So we'll start by defining what a default route is. I like to keep things very simple. So a default route is this. If I'm R1 here, anything that I get, any traffic I get, I look at my routing table to see if I know where to send it or where the destination is. With a default route, you don't need that information. This router will send directly out to its friend here, R2, hoping that R2 may know where that destination is. So, from an R1 perspective, I'm sending a default route. I don't care what source destination it is, I'm going to be sending that traffic out automatically through my exit interface. Okay, now these are normally found on devices that have only one exit interface. So in our case, F0/0 has one exit interface, R3 has one exit interface. Okay, so so far I have configured my IP addresses on the interfaces, so we won't waste time and do that. Hopefully by now you guys know how to configure IP addresses on interfaces. If not, I'll be glad to help. But let's go ahead and go to R1. Okay, let's go and go to R1. Okay, so now let's look and see. First thing I like to do when I get on a device is I like to do a show IP interface brief. I like to see what's going on. So we have our two IP addresses configured on our interfaces, which is great. Our PC here, let's see if our PC can reach our default gateway. Okay, it can reach that. So that's one of the first things you want to check, especially when troubleshooting occurs. If you can't reach your gateway, then you're in some trouble. So we're good so far. Now let's go back to our topology here, and let's look and see what router 1 has for its routing table. Okay, so let's do a show IP route. So this routing table says this is the networks that I know how to reach. Okay, I know how to reach 1.0 and I know how to reach 2.0. By default, routers only know about the networks they're connected to. So in our case, we're connected to the 1.0 network here, and we're connected to the 2.0 network here. So any network that is not directly connected to you, you must have a path or a route to reach that network. So for instance, we're not directly connected to 3.0. We're not directly connected to 4.0. We're not directly connected to 5.0. So in that case, we must tell router 1 how to reach those other networks. Now, you can do that several ways. You can do that with a static route, which we've done. You can do that with a dynamic routing protocol, which we won't do in this lab. There'll be a later lab. Or you can use a default route to help us. Now, without a default route, what will we have to do in order to reach these networks, 3, 4, and 5? We would have to create a separate static route for each network, which in our case is 1, 2, 3. 3 networks. We have 3 static routes. And that's okay if you only have 3 routes, but what if you had 15 routes? What if you had 50 routes? That would take a lot of time to configure. So a default route helps us save time, and it's just more efficient. Now, to do that, it's a very simple command. Let's go to R1 and let's configure that command. So if we do a T, we're going to do IP route, and we're going to do a 0, 0, and this is our next hop, our next router's IP address. So if you look here, it's 2.2. We're sending it here. So as I said, this is saying anything, any destination that I see, it doesn't matter, send it out to router 2. Router 2 knows best. He knows where to send this information to. If he doesn't know, then maybe he knows someone who knows. Right? So we have that there. Now, you should always verify that your commands took. Okay? So you can do that using a show run pipe include route. Okay, so you see our route is there, so we're good there. Now, let's go to router 3. And it's going to be the same scenario. Okay, actually on router 3, let's do something different. Let's go ahead and see, can this host here, which is VPC9, can this host reach this network? Can this host reach this network? Can this host reach this network? So if you answered that it could reach this network and this network, you would be right. However, it's not going to be able to reach this network and this network and this network. So let's confirm that. So if I do a ping 192.168 dot, let's see 3.254. Okay, that is this network here. Can't reach that. Let's try 2.1 here. Can't reach that. So you guys get the picture. Now, in order for it to reach that, we're going to have to create a default route here as well. So let's do that. On R3, to do a config T, same thing here. We're going to do a 0.0.0, and then we're going to go to, I believe it's 4.2. 4.2 there. Alright, 4.2. Okay, so we have our default route. Alright, there we go. So our default route is there. Now, if we look here, we do have configurations on R2. We do need some static routes on R2. And let me tell you why. So on R2, if you see, so if we do a show run, okay, we have two static routes here, 1.0 and 5.0. Now we need those because if you look, router 2 it's not directly connected to the 1 network or the 5 network. So in those cases, router 2 must know how to reach those places. Now we can't do default routes here because it has multiple exit interfaces. So we have exit interface here, exit interface here. These only have one exit interface, so we can use those. Alright, so that's already pre-configured. So we should now be able, if we go to VPC9, we should be able to reach the other end, okay, which is 1.50, and we can. So that's awesome. So we have full connectivity from here all the way to here, okay, which shows that our default routers are working, our static routes here are working. Now the only other, production like scenario would be this, which is why I have this here. So this would be your edge router here, and this would be your connection going to the ISP. So we would have a default route from our router here to our ISP, right? So we're saying any traffic on our internal network, so we have our switches, our PCs, everything on the left of this router here. This is our router, and this is our connection to our ISP that we pay. So we would only need a default route from here to here, because we don't know all the destination IP addresses on the internet. I mean, there's millions of IP addresses, so it would be impossible for us to write static routes for every single destination on the internet. So instead, we say, no matter where you're going on the internet, just send it to my ISP and he'll take me there. All right, that's it. That's the end of the lab. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If you guys have any requests, you guys can let me know that as well. And it's Friday. You guys hope you guys have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys on the next one.